أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I hope everybody is okay. Everything's fine. So you managed to do your exercise a little bit, if not all, inshallah. So hopefully it was not too difficult. It is not too difficult actually. So it just takes some getting used to. Probably you're right now quite new to the topic, so it takes some time to just get used to it, inshallah. But over the period of time, it will get better. It will get better. I'm telling you, inshallah. It gets better, and it also gets interesting, because right now what you're doing here is effectively looking at one word, and then you're trying to understand the properties of that word. So effectively inside an ism at the moment, just inside an ism. You're not looking around the ism right now, right? You just take a word and you try to find, okay, what is the status? What is the number? What is the gender? What is the types? This is quite a small scope of what you're trying to achieve right now. But inshallah, over the period of time, it will become much bigger. So you will be, by the end of this course, you would be analyzing sentences in the Quran, inshallah. What are the ism-based sentences? Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi, Imran. So you will be analyzing those sentences, not just ism-based sentences, but also the fi'l-based sentences. You'll be discussing about conditions, inshallah, if-then conditions that are used in the Quran. We'll also discuss about many other things, many topics, emphasis and stuff like that. So there's a lot more to come, inshallah, that will start to make sense. But you know, this is how it starts. The course starts by founding your foundation, by actually building on your foundation, because ism is one of the most important topics you have, and the understanding of ism is very, very critical. So therefore, it is necessary that you completely get hold of it. So we spend a good amount of time just understanding the ism and its four properties. Okay, that's what we do normally in this course. Okay, and once you're done with the ism, we'll go and look around ism. So if you have an ism, what other words can impact? What impact those other words are going to bring on top of that ism? And it's gonna come, inshallah. And today we have we have already in the last class covered the entire four properties of an ism, so we're quite good on that front, inshallah. And so going forward, we will be covering more. So today I want to keep it to the practice. We do the practice together today, and we try to understand or solve or clarify any doubts, concepts that we may in our concepts that we may have, because I don't want to progress further if you're not good with the ism properties of an ism. Okay, so let's see how we do today. So let's do the exercises today. Probably, if time permits, jump in the Quran here and there, apply our knowledge here and there. And if you're fine, if you're too good on this, if you're just comfortable, we will just move to the other topic, inshallah. Okay. Just a small reminder for everybody. Next week there is no class because of Eid. So so we will not meet on Saturday and Sunday next week, which happens to be, I think, 16th and 17th of June, I guess. And we will meet again on the 23rd of June to continue our studies, inshallah. Okay, so so inshallah, I hope you have a very nice Eid. So in advance, very, very happy Eid Mubarak to all of you, inshallah. And we'll meet, inshallah, after Eid. Use this time when you go and take this break. Use this time. We're closing on a very good point in time where we have just done the four properties. Don't lose these 2 weeks. Don't disconnect yourself. If you disconnect yourself, you will lose it. I'm telling you what happened to me, my personal experience. I was doing the course first time when I was doing it with Bayina, and we were quite advanced. We just finished the ISM studies. We started the fi'l studies, and then I went for Hajj, and I went for Hajj for about 20 days. 20 days of full disconnect from my studies. Okay, when I came back, I could not pick up absolutely anything that my teacher was telling me. So I had to go back quite many lessons, about 5 to 10, I think 7 to 10 lessons. I had to go back and start from the recordings again. I missed out on the project. I missed out on the certificate at that time because I was late. And I had to do a lot of stuff again because of the disconnect. So I'm telling you, if you disconnect, you will lose it. Because right now, you're not at a stage where it is coming completely naturally to you. It will come completely naturally, inshallah, but in a later stage, inshallah. Right now, you still need to keep your connection alive. One way of to keep the connection alive is to do these exercises. Please do these exercises. We'll do them in the class. If you're done with the exercise, just open up the Quran. Quran is your best workbook. It's your best exercise book. Open up the Quran randomly. See which word can you find. If you find any word, okay, and it looks like an ism. For example, look for the word with an al. They are definitely ism. Okay, al only comes with ism, nothing else. Okay, so if you find a word with an al, for example, you should be able to do four properties of that word. That's all. You need to find those words in the Quran. When you read the Quran, read them slower. Read slower, not faster. Read slower. Find out those words. If you find those words, apply those 4 properties. Don't move forward until you have applied those 4 properties. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Spend good time, quality time with the Quran. Understand it. Okay? Start with the surahs that you already know, the basics, the quls, Qul huwallahu ahad, and the Surah Kafirun, and so on. Find isms in it. Okay, so try to apply your knowledge. Don't lose it. So inshallah, when we meet on 23rd, we will continue with more advanced studies. Okay, good. Another request I wanted to make, and that request is primarily about one of the purposes of Al-Bayan. So we started Al-Bayan primarily to spread the knowledge of the Quran and also the language of the Quran as much as we can. So starting with the language of the Quran, we don't do the tafsir today, we don't do fiqh today, we don't do hadith today, and we need right people to do this. Okay, so what we can do today ourselves is the language of the Quran as much as we know. So that's what we are doing. And as part of that exercise, we also request people to come and donate to causes. Okay. So one of those causes is, for example, building a masjid or giving charity to someone needy. So right now, what we are doing is we are supporting 2 masjids at the moment. One is the Aisha Masjid in Reading, and the second one is the West Berkshire Muslim Center, which is being built. In fact, the funding is being collected so far for Newbury. So Newbury has a lot of Muslim population, and they don't have any central place as such. So it's a big opportunity for all of us to contribute. So if you go to Albayyan's website, I'll share that with you. I'll just show it to you. And you do that for the sake of Allah, not for anyone else. You don't do that for anyone else. So you just do that for the sake of Allah and for yourselves, inshallah. Okay? Even if you don't do this, I'm not going to come to you and say, hey, no, you can't attend our courses. You're most welcome to attend our courses. You do it or you don't do it, but the whole idea is just to benefit. While Allah has blessed you with the possibility of gaining the knowledge of the Quran, why not return the favor and then donate something? So if you go to our website, Albayaan.Online, and if you go to donate, you'll find these 2 charities here. Okay, so it's simple, very simple. So you can choose either of them, whichever you like. Aisha Masjid is already quite established. West Berkshire is pretty new. They're trying to establish. So it's really up to you. So you can go to the website and choose whichever you like, or click the donate button. It will take you to the direct online donation. Okay. Once you've donated, whatever amount you think you can donate, just come back to this website, please, and fill up this form. Just fill up this form. It just tells us what charity has been you have donated to, but it does not identify you. It's complete anonymous form. We don't know who you are, but we just know that certain amount of donation is made to the charity. So we can go and tell that charity, guys, Albayaan has generated this much donation for you, so please keep track of it. Okay? That's the whole purpose here. Okay? If you're in a region where you do not have enough funds to support these charities, because we're talking pounds here. If you're talking pounds, so if you're coming from India or any other part of the world, Pakistan, where £1 is like hundreds of rupees, and you don't want to do this charity, you can't afford this, then it's also okay. Just go out, for the sake of Allah and donate something to someone. Just do something. Okay? Even if it's 1 rupee or whatever it is, just do some sadaqah, just do some donation to anyone. Okay, that's the whole purpose of Albayaan. We want to come closer to the Quran. At the same time, we want to establish this donation channel. Just do it, and then come to this website and fill out the form, just so we know how people are engaging on this front. Okay, and this is of course very, very optional, but very strongly recommended by us. Okay, good. Thank you very much for listening. So what we'll do now is just do a quick summary of what we did last time, and we take it from there, inshallah. Okay, take it from there. Good. So last time what we did two things. We did the gender of an ISM, last time, and we also did the type of an ISM. These are the two things we did last time. So gender of an ISM. We said few things. Okay? We said by default, an ISM is considered masculine. ISM is considered masculine. That's the default state of an ISM. By default, an ISM is considered masculine. Okay? Let me complete this sentence. By default, an ISM is considered masculine unless proven to be feminine. Yeah, that's what we did. Okay, you have to prove an ISM to be feminine, otherwise it is considered masculine. If you see any ISM, it is masculine. Okay, assume it's masculine unless you prove it feminine. Now, how do you prove an ISM is feminine? So how to prove an ISM is feminine? Okay, that's the question we need to answer. How to prove an ISM is feminine? Okay, now there are two ways. There are two types of feminism. There's one real feminine, and there's one fake feminine. Okay? It's one real feminine, and one is fake feminine. That's what we did yesterday. Okay, real feminine. We said these are biologically females. Okay, these are biologically. These are biologically feminine. Okay. And we did some examples. We said Ummun is mother. We said Ukhtun is sister. These are all feminine. Ukhtun, sister, and then we said Bakaratun. Bakaratun is also feminine. Okay? It's a cow. Okay, Bakaratun is cow. These are biologically female. So there's no reason to call them masculine. There's absolutely no reason to call them masculine. Okay? Now, this is what we did for the biologically feminine things, the real feminines, and really real feminine. Then we talked about fake feminines. Fake feminines are identified. These are identified based on their endings and based on their types, what type of word they are, and so on. So these are not necessarily biologically feminine. Okay, they're not necessarily biologically feminine. And we did some tips. We did some tips to identify fake feminines. We said the words ending with ta marbuta, or the words ending with alif maksura, or the words ending with alif mad and hamza. Alif mad and hamza, okay, are usually fake feminines, are considered fake feminines. So you would assign them a feminine gender. You would assign them a feminine gender. Okay. So alif mad and hamza, I briefly mentioned, it is used for colors primarily. It is used for colors, and it could be the case that in some cases it is not feminine. The context will tell you. The context will tell you the pronoun used for it, the pointer fragment used for it. So you will do that inshallah later on in your studies. But you should keep that in mind, that the ta marbuta and the alif maksura are largely feminine unless you can prove them non-feminine. But there are exceptions. We did some exceptions. Okay? We did some exceptions as well. Okay? We said, what are the exceptions? We said things which are not biologically feminine are usually fake feminine. Yeah, we can call them, but they are. But if they're biologically masculine, you won't call them feminine, right? So biologically masculine cannot be called fake feminine. Biologically masculine cannot be called fake feminine. And we did some examples. What are the examples? We said hamzatun. Hamzatun. Okay. For example, Isa. Okay. It ends with alif maksura. Hamzatun ends with ta marbuta, but we can't call it feminine. We know they're biologically masculine. They're biologically masculine. Same story with Musa. Okay? Musa. We can't call it feminine because we know they're biologically masculine. Okay? So although they have the endings that represent or indicate fake feminine, we will not call them fake feminine. We'll call them masculine. Okay? So things which are biologically masculine cannot be called fake feminine. Okay? Now, the second tip we did was, we said non-human plurals and broken plurals. Non-human plurals and broken plurals are feminine. Okay? What do you do when you look at the plural? You decide. The first question you ask yourself: is this human or non-human? Okay? Is this human or non-human? If it is non-human, you just go and assign it a singular feminine, don't you? For example, if you look at masajid. Masajid means mosques. Mosques. Okay, you would assign that singular feminine. You would assign it singular feminine. Right? So in the same case, if you look at, for example, if you look at samawatun. Now, samawatun is a non-human, means skies. It's skies. You would go and assign it singular feminine. Go and assign it singular feminine. Okay? Even though it maps to the Muslim chart, the Muslimatun chart, right? Samawatun is still mapping to the Muslimatun chart. But it is a non-human. So the priority is non-human. If it is non-human, you would go and assign it singular feminine. If it was human, if it was like Muslimatun, you would go and apply what the chart says. You would say plural. You would say plural feminine. But samawatun is a non-human. So when you say non-human, you would apply singular feminine. Okay. This is the second tip we did. Okay. So you would apply singular feminine. Then we say proper names of places. Proper names of places. Proper names of places are always feminine. Proper names of places are always feminine. Okay, and in this case we looked at, for example, Makkatun, or we look at Pakistan, which is Pakistan. Yeah, Pakistan, or we looked at Dallas, and so on. Okay, so proper names of places are feminine. Proper names of places are feminine. All right. Okay. And then we said the last thing was body, not the last thing, body parts in pairs. Body parts in pairs. Body parts in pairs. Okay. So I gave you a few terminologies. I gave you Ainun, Rijulun, and Qadmun, and so on. Okay. You have that in your notes, inshallah. And the last thing, because the Arabs said so. Because the Arabs said so. Which is the bas, we call it. Okay? Because the Arabs said so. Isms that we do not know why they are feminine, we just call them feminine because that has been told to us. Okay, so that's what Arabs do. Arabs do. Okay, so we don't have any reason to call them feminine, but we just call them feminine because the Arabs said so. Okay, there's no reason. Oops, not printing. Okay, so these were the 5 reasons. 5 reasons. The words ending with ta marbuta, alif maksura, alif mad and hamza, and the non-human plurals and broken plurals, proper names of places, body parts in pairs, because the Arab said so. All of these are fake feminines. When you see these things, you would assign them feminine genders, keeping these exceptions in mind. Keeping the exceptions in mind. Okay? All right? I hope we're good with that. So if there are any questions, any confusions, please tell me and I will try to clarify that, inshallah. So after that, what we did was type. What we did was type. Type of an ism. What was type of an ism? Type of an ism tells us if an ism is common or proper. If an ism is common or proper. What's happening? Wait a second. Number scheme is going bad. Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. So type tells you if an ism, type tells if an ism is common or proper. Common or proper. Okay. For example, New York is proper, whereas the city is common. Okay? City is common. Okay? So type of an ism tells you if an ism is proper or common. Okay? So the default type of an ism is what? Default type of an ism is common. Okay? Unless proven proper. So you would consider every ism to be common ism unless we can prove it's proper. Okay? And just like the gender, we have some tips to prove an ism to be proper. Okay? There are seven types of proper ism effectively. Okay? There are 7 types of proper isms, 10 types of proper isms. And we did that those tips yesterday. So first one was words starting with an al. Okay? Words starting with an al. These isms would be proper, like al-muslimu, al-masjidu, okay? Al-baytu, and so on. Okay? And naturally, very, very naturally, proper names are proper. Proper names are proper. Proper names are proper. And these proper names would be like Muhammad. We did a few examples. Muhammad, Muhammadun, or Ibrahimun, Okay, Ibrahimun, and so on. Okay, any proper name, even the cities, let's say Makkah is a good example. I just stick to Makkah. So Makkah, okay, even the cities. So proper names are proper. That's why they're called proper names, right? So nothing to remember as such on this one. Then we also said when you address someone, when addressing someone, or the one being addressed, let me put it that way, the one being addressed, okay? like Ya Muhammadun, Ya Muhammadun, okay? Like Ya Muhammadun. So you remember, one of the reasons to make an ism light was when one is being addressed. Remember that? The 4 reasons to make an ism light. First one was the categorical negation. The second one was when addressing someone. And the third one was the partly flexible isms. We have still not done the 4th one. So the third one was the partly flexible. You see what I did here? I did not say Ya Muhammadun. I said Ya Muhammadu, because it is calling someone. It cannot be heavy. It has to be light. Okay? Just a tangent here. Just a reminder. Okay? So these 3 reasons. Then there are 4 reasons. There are 4 reasons we still haven't studied in depth yet. We still haven't studied in depth yet. We will do that in this course, inshallah, going forward. So one is pronouns. Pronouns are proper. Pronouns are proper. They're proper anyway. Just let me know. Pronouns. Then we have ism. We have pointer words. Pointer words, also called ism ishara. Also called ism ishara. Then we have ism mawsuls. Ism mawsuls. Ism mawsuls are what? Allazi, allati, and so on. Yes. You still don't know them in depth, in detail, but all you know is ism mawsul is allazi, allati, and so on. Allati, allazina, allazina, ma, and man, and so on. Okay, this is what you know. These are all proper, always proper. Okay? These are always proper. Okay? And then the last one was the word before of if the word after of is proper. If the word after of is proper. Okay? The word before of, if the word after of is proper. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 types of words which are proper. Okay? This is what we did. Any confusion on this front so far? So one thing I already know, that you may be thinking that there's simply too much to remember. That's true. That's true. You do have a lot of things to remember. You need to keep these 7 types in your mind. You need to keep the previous 5 types here of fake feminine in mind and real feminines. And then you also have to keep those Muslim charts, the plurals, the broken plurals, the human and the non-human and everything. But you know, it's very mathematical. It's very mathematical. There's logic to it. There's logic to it. It's not rote memorization. It's your checklist. Okay, so if you can't memorize them or remember them, keep them in front of you. It's fine. It's just fine. No one is expecting you to do it directly with your head right now. You need to go there, yes, in the next few classes, inshallah. But for now, because you've just learned this, keep the list in front of you and make sure that you know, try to do as much as you can with your mind, not looking at the list. But if you can't, don't get depressed. It's fine. Just go and look at the list. Okay? It will become part of your memory, inshallah. Okay? So it's just normal if you're going that way. Okay? Good. So if there's no question, I will move to the exercise, and then we'll do the exercise so we have this nailed down completely, inshallah. Okay? Inshallah, do the exercise. So the exercise I'm going to do is on page number 14. Page number 14. Let's move on to the page number 14, please, everyone. Page number 14. Okay. So one of them I did yesterday, but I wanted you to give it a shot yourself at home. So I hope you got a chance. I hope you got a chance to do this at home, inshallah. If you have done it, that's great. If you've done it, that's great. If you haven't done it, that's also fine. That's also fine. But it's better if you give it a try first yourself, and then come and verify that in the class. That will help you better in your understanding and also in how fast you can progress, inshallah. Okay. So give me a 1 if you have tried to attempt it at home. Just so I know. Give me a 1 if you've tried to attempt it at home. Just so I know how far, where do we stand so far. Anyone tried to do that? This is an investment you're making in yourself, inshallah, knowledge. Yes, Imran, thank you very much. This is an investment that you're making. Everything you do, inshallah, Allah will reward you for that. So this is only going to help each one of you. Okay, it's not helping anyone else but you. So it's only going to help each one of you, inshallah. Okay? So please find some time and spend some time on this. So let's do the following. So not just the gender, we'll do the status, number, and gender for everything written in this table, inshallah. Okay, let's try to do that. Okay. Sayyi'atin. Sayyi'atin. So what is the status of sayyi'atin? What is the status of sayyi'atin? Any ideas? It maps to the Muslim chart. I'm looking at this ending. I'm looking at this ending. Maps to the Muslim chart. So I should be able to tell something about the status. Right? Something about the status. If you do not know the meaning, unless I tell you, you just assume it's human, okay? Unless you know the meaning, okay? Sayyi'atin is nasab wa jar, correct? It's nasab wa jar. Very good. It's nasab wa jar. Nasab wa jar. Right? Now, number, it's plural. That's clear. It's plural. And the type, sorry, not the type, the gender. The gender is feminine, isn't it? Feminine. Right? Now, let me tell you one thing. Sayyi'atin is a plural of sins. Okay? So sin are usually non-human. Okay? Sin are usually non-human. So you could just wipe this plural off and say singular, because non-human plurals are singular feminine. Yes? Yes? Because you didn't know the meaning, what you did was right. What you did was right. Okay? So, but now if you know the meaning, if it is a non-human, what would you label it? You would label it singular feminine. You would label it singular feminine. Okay? Even though it maps to the Muslim chart, right? So non-human by default is singular feminine. Okay? Non-human plural. Okay. Mu'ridina. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the ina ending here. Ina ending here. Ina ending comes from masculine Muslim chart. Correct. Very good, Imran. It's nasab or jar. It's nasab or jar. It's plural. It's masculine. It's plural. It's masculine. Okay. Very good. Very good. Lil Rijali. How about that? للرجال. للرجال meaning men. It means men. Means men. So that should be, I'm looking at the kasra here. Look at the kasra here. That should be jar. That should be jar because of the kasra. What is the number? What is the number? What is the number here? All right. Yes, Imran. So we can call it plural because we know it's men. Because we know it's men. Okay. And masculine. Right. This is one answer, right? And that's the right answer. You call you when you have this is a human broken plural, isn't it? It's a human broken plural. When you have human broken plural, you can assign number and gender in two ways. One, based on what they actually are, which is this plural and men, or you could assign them singular feminine. Both are fine. Both are fine. Okay, grammatically speaking, both are fine. Musafihina, musafihina. I'm looking at the hina ending. I'm looking at the hina ending here, and I'm going to say it's nasab or jar, and it's plural because it comes from a Muslim chart, and it's masculine. Correct. Correct. Al-faridati. Al-faridati. How about this one? How about this one? Al-faridati. So I'm looking at this. Farida means duty. It means duty. Duty. Okay. Al makes it definite. The duty. The duty. Okay. The duty. So I'm looking at it. I'm saying it's jar. Okay. And I'm going to say it's singular. And I'm going to call it feminine. Why do I call it feminine? Because of the tamarbuta. It has an ending of a tamarbuta. This is a fake feminine we talked about. It's a fake feminine we talked about. Okay. This is a fake feminine we talked about. Correct. Aqibatu. Aqibatu means result or consequence. Okay. So it has a ta marbuta in the end. Tells me volumes. It has dhamma here. Tells me volumes. So I can call it rafa. I can call it singular. I can call it feminine. Okay. Rafa, singular, feminine. Okay. Kanitina. Again, it's a ina ending. You should be very good at this now. Okay? It's ina ending. It's nasab or jar. It's gonna be plural and it's gonna be masculine. Nasab or jar, plural, masculine. Okay. Al malakaini. Al malakaini. How about this one? How about this one? I'm looking at the aini ending here. Looking at the aini ending here. That's right, Imran. Nasab or jar. What is the number here on this one? Okay. Should be easy, right? It should be easy. It's not that difficult. Pair, correct. It's a pair. I just write two instead, okay? So, and then it's masculine, okay? It's a pair. Excellent. Tijaratan means business or trade. It has ta marbuta. It has the tanween, which is fatha tanween, makes it nasab. It makes it singular. It makes it feminine. Okay? That's easy. Maps to the Muslimatun chart, right? Mi ataini, again, it's aini ending. Aini ending tells me it's nasab or jar. It's a pair and it's masculine. Pair and it's masculine. Okay? Tawlan. There is a nasab here, clearly a nasab. Okay, Tawlan means power. Okay, Tawlan means power. Okay, so it's a nasab, it's a singular, and it's masculine. Okay? Nasab, singular, masculine. Okay. Al-insanu. Al-insanu. What is al-insanu? Al-insanu is rafa. Al-insanu is rafa, singular, masculine. Correct. Rafa, singular, masculine. Okay? Excellent. Sunan. Sunana. Sunana. Yes. It's practices. It's practices. Sunnas. Sunnas that we call. Okay? Sunnas that we call. So what am I going to label it here? What is it? It's nasab. It's nasab. What about the number? What about the number? Any guesses? It is a non-human plural. Yes? It's a non-human plural. And it's broken as well, right? It doesn't map to any chart. So I'm going to call it singular feminine. I'm going to call it singular feminine. So which one, Imran, you're talking about? Singular feminine as non-human? Are you talking about the sunana? If you're talking about the sunana, then it's a non-human plural, isn't it? Means practices or sunnas. Okay. So if it's a non-human plural, you're going to assign it singular feminine. Or is this something else you're talking about? Okay. Good. Excellent. Let's move on to number 17. Tazkiratu. Tazkiratu should be simple. There is a ta marbutha. There is a tanween with a dhamma. There is a tanween with a dhamma. We call it rafa. We call it feminine because of this. Okay, feminine because of this, and it's a singular. It's a singular. It means reminder, reminder, or a mention of something. Okay, reminder. Tazkira. Al-sabila. All right. Okay. Al-sabila. Sabila means way, path, road. So what have you done in this? Any opinions on sabila? It's nasab. I see that because of the fatha. So what else? Can you tell me what is the number and the gender of sabila? Any ideas? Number 18. Number 18. What is the number and the gender of as-sabila? Just tell me what you think, and we'll inshallah take it from there. Okay? Doesn't have to be right if you're not sure about it. That's fine. Okay? But just tell me what you think. Give it a shot. Okay? Very good. Excellent, Imran. Excellent. This is singular feminine. Why is this feminine? Feminine because the Arab said so. Because the Arab said so. Okay? It's feminine because the Arab said so. It's one of the words in your story. It's one of the words in your story that we did. Okay? As-sabil. And it's singular. There's no reason to call it plural. Okay. Al-ma'a. Ma'a is water. Ma'a means water. Okay. Ma'a means water. Okay. So it is going to be nasab, it is going to be singular, and it is going to be masculine. Okay. Right. Inaban is grapes. Grapes. How about that? Inaban is grapes. It's nasab. This tells me it's nasab. Okay. And it's grapes. It's plural. It's a broken plural, right? And it's non-human. When it's non-human, you go assign singular feminine. You go assign singular feminine. Okay. Hada'iqa. The fatha tells me it's nasab, and the meaning tells me it's plural. And the meaning tells me it's plural, gardens. So as soon as you see it's plural and it's not mapping to the standard chart, you would know it's a broken plural and it's also a non-human. Okay. So you go and assign singular feminine to it. Singular feminine. Okay. This should be easy. Lil mutaffifina. This is ina ending. This is ina ending. So this tells you it's nasab or jar. Maps to the Muslim chart, masculine one, and it's going to be plural, and it's going to be masculine. Okay, plural, masculine. The tanween tells me it's rafa. Okay, it maps to the Muslimun chart, the Muslim chart, the masculine Muslim chart. So I'm going to call it singular, and I'm going to call it masculine. Okay, rafa, singular, masculine. Okay, al-ghashiyati, ghashiyati. Now, there are two things. There is a kasra here that tells me it's a jar. There is a ta marbuta here that tells me it's feminine. It's a ghashiyati means calamity or covering, even covering as well. Calamity or covering. Okay? Calamity of covering. Yes, Imran, thank you. And it is singular. It is singular. Okay? It is singular. Azabin is punishment. Azabin is punishment. So the tanween tells me it's jar. Okay? Then it's a singular, and it's masculine. It's like Muslimin. Okay? Singular, masculine. That's easy. Al-malaku. Malaku, again, the Dhamma tells me it's rafa. Okay? It means angel. The angel, one angel. It is singular. Okay? It's singular and it's masculine. Okay? Singular, masculine. Even if I don't tell you the meaning, you should be able to do this. Okay? So you don't find, there's no reason to call it plural. Right? There's no reason. You should not suspect everything as a broken plural. Where there's a broken plural, meaning will be given to you at this stage. If there's no meaning given, don't assume this as a broken plural unless you really know it is. Okay? Like if I give you rusulun and I don't give you the meaning, then you should not consider it as a singular. You should consider it as a plural because now you know rusulun quite well. Okay? So where there is a meaning required, the meaning should be given to you. Will be given to you, inshallah. Where it's not, assume it's normal. Assume in the normal way, right? Number 27. I want to know what's number 27. An-nafsu. An-nafsu. I can already see from the Dhamma it's rafa. I want to know the number and the gender. Okay? So I want to know the number and the gender. What is the number and the gender of An-nafsu. An-nafsu. Any point of views? What is the number and the gender of an-nafsu? Correct. It's a singular and it's feminine. It's feminine because of the Arab said so. It's also one of those lists in your story. It's because the Arab said so. Okay? Because the Arab said so, inshallah. Okay? Al-mutma'innatu. Again, there's a rafa here. There's a ta marbuta here, calling it feminine, and it's singular. There's no reason to call it plural. Okay, singular. Walidin is, the tanween tells me it's jar, and it's singular and it's masculine. Okay. Narun, the tanween tells me it's rafa, and then it's singular, and then it's feminine, just like ardu, just like sabilu. Okay, it's a bas because the Arab said so. It's part of that list. It's part of that list. Narun. Okay, just call it feminine. Al-Qamari is moon. This is moon. So it is jar, singular, masculine. Jar, singular, masculine. Okay? And as-sa'ila is questioner. It's questioner. Okay? This tells me it's nasab and it's singular and it's masculine. Okay? No reason to call it anything else. Okay? Good. Excellent. 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 Very good. Very good job. I think this should give you a good hold of this concept, the identifying properties of an ism. So now the next one that we have on the list is on page number 16. Page number 16. Okay. So you could go on and in your own time. What I'll do now here is I will focus on just identifying if it is common or proper. But what you should be doing effectively in your own time to practice, try to find all the properties, status, number, gender, type, all the properties when you practice. Okay. Right now, let's do the common and the proper ones. Okay. Common and proper ones. So one we did last time, we said, okay, Al-Qarnaini we said is proper because there is an al to it. Then there was Ya'adamu, we also did. We said it's when calling someone. You need to remember the list of 7 kinds of word that can be proper. So that's that. Just keep that list in front of you or keep that in mind, inshallah. Makisina. Makisina. All I'm interested in is right now is if it is proper or common. So I will call it common because there's no reason to call it proper. Nothing from that list applies. Nothing from that list applies. And by default, every ism is common. Okay? It doesn't have an al. It is not calling anybody. It is not a proper noun. It is not a pointer. It is not a pronoun. It is not ism mawsul. And it is not a word after of when the word before of is, sorry, other way around. It's not the word before of when the word after of is proper. Okay? Nothing applies. So it's a communism. Okay? It's a communism. Al-shajaratun should be simple. Immediately I see an al here, so I'm going to call it proper. Okay? Immediately I see al here, I'm going to call it proper. Even before reading the full word, I know it's al, it's proper. Topic closed. Okay? Nuhan. Nuhan. What do you think about Nuhan? Number 5. Is it common or is it proper? Is it common or is it proper? Nuhan is a nasab form of the name Nuh. It's a nasab form of the name Nur. Yeah. So because it's a proper name, we're going to call it proper. Okay. Because it's a proper name, we're going to call it proper. Okay. We're going to call it proper, inshallah. Correct, Imran. Very good. Proper name. Okay. Maradan. Maradan. So maradan is it's common, right? Nothing to say it's proper. There's nothing that tells me it's proper. There's nothing that tells me maradan is proper. Okay. No reason for me to call it proper. Maradan means disease. Okay? Disease. Ya waladu. Now I see this ya. Ya is a calling someone. It's munada, right? Harf nida. It's calling somebody. And I see we're calling someone. Waladu is a boy or a child or a boy. Yeah. So when we call somebody, it's proper, isn't it? It's one of those list elements. When you call somebody, it's proper. It's just like the case of Ya Adamu here. Just like the case of Ya Adamu here. Just like this case. Yeah? It's a proper case. Huwa. Huwa is a pronoun. Huwa is a pronoun. And it's proper because pronouns are always proper. Correct, Imran. Very good. Very good. If you're thinking that you don't know what are the pronouns, so there's a list. There's a full list in your notes. You can take a look, and we'll study the pronouns in detail, inshallah. It's mentioned here on your page number 15. It's mentioned. Go to page number 18, and you'll find all the list of pronouns. You don't have to study them yet. Just know these are the pronouns. Okay? It's too much for you to study for yourself pronouns right now. Just go and identify some pronouns. Read through it once so you know. Now, allazi is ism mawsul, and we said ism mawsul is also always proper. Allazi is ism mawsul, it's also always proper. Okay? Ardan. What is Ardan? Ardan is a nasab form of ard, land. It's a nasab form of ard. It is common. There's no reason to call it proper. Okay? There's no reason to call it proper. Okay? Al-mu'minina. So as soon as I see al, I'm going to call it proper. Okay? It's pretty straightforward. It's not difficult. It's absolutely not difficult. I'm telling you. It's not at all difficult. Okay? It's not at all difficult. You just need to do some practice, and inshallah, you're good. You're good with this, inshallah. Okay? I see al here, and I'm going to call it proper. An-nasi. An-nasi. I have a question, though. What is the number and gender I can assign to an-nas? What is the number and the gender I can assign to nas? Anyone can tell me? Number 12. I'm looking for the number and the gender for an-nas. Any ideas? We touched upon it. We touched upon it in the last class, in the previous class. What is the number and gender we can assign to an-nas? So an-nas is one of the isms that we did in the very beginning of our class. After our summary, we said there are 3 isms called ism jama. Yes, collective nouns. Ism jama. Okay, remember that? So we did qawmun, we did nasun, and we said qarnun. Qawmun was nation, nasun was people or nation, and qarnun was a generation or century. Yes, we said these are ism jamas. These are translated as singular, but grammatically you're going to assign them plural masculine. Remember that? Yesterday we did that. You assign them plural masculine. Nas is not one person, it's a group of people. Nas is a group of people. It represents a group of people. When you translate it, you may translate it as singular because that makes sense in English, but effectively it's a representation of a plural entity, right? So nasun would be plural. Nasun would be plural, okay? Not singular, okay? Just listen to the lecture yesterday we did. If you're confused, we did that yesterday, and that's all you need to know. When you look at qawmun, when you look at nasun, and when you look at qarnun, 3 words we did. These words have to be assigned plural, okay? Plural. All right. Then which one? Rasulullahi. Rasulullahi. So how about this one? What is the type of the word rusul? What is the type of the word rusul? What do you think? What is the type of the word rusul? Now you're looking at Rasul, Rasulu, and you're looking at Allahi after it. And you know this Allahi maps to the translation. There is a reason translation is given here. Allah. Is Allah common or proper? The word Allah, I mean, the word Allah common or proper? It's proper. Correct. Correct, Imran. Very good. And Rasulu maps to the messenger. And we are saying messenger of Allah. We're saying messenger of Allah. The word before of is proper if the word after of is proper. Yes? The word before of is proper if the word after of is proper. Correct. Yeah. Just process this logically. Process this logically. Okay? If you inshallah logically process it, you'll not lose it. You'll not lose it. We did number 14 already in the class. Let's go to the 15th one. Maryama. Maryama. Okay. Now, Maryama is a proper name, so we call it proper. Maryama is a proper name, we call it proper, right? Now, tell me one thing. I have a question. What is the jar form of the word Maryam? Can you give me the jar form of the word Maryam? Any ideas? Right or wrong, I don't mind really. Just give me something. This is a nasab. This is a nasab. Or what is it? Can you tell me? Can you tell me the status of Maryam? What is status of Maryam? What do you think? What is the status of Maryam? Yes, yes. So it is going to be Maryama, correct? And why? Because it's a non-Arab name, right? It's a non-Arab name. It's partly flexible. Partly flexible. It can never take a kasra. Now, Maryama would be Maryamu in Rafa, Maryama and Maryama in Nasab or Jar. So this way, here you will call it either Nasab or Jar, right? You don't know. Correct, Imran. Very good. Very good. Very good. Usman, you're right. It could be Nasab, but you cannot definitely say that because the context will tell you. It's a partly flexible one. And remember that in partly flexible, the Nasab and Jar looks exactly the same. So it could be either of the two. And the context is going to tell you. Today, we will say it's Nasab or Jar because we don't know the context. Okay? Sorry, I keep on bringing these things up. So because I want you to start thinking everything together. When you look at a word, you should be thinking everything together as much as possible. So let's practice this on the way, inshallah. Things will become very normal. So think about flexibility, think about type and gender and plurals and broken plurals and stuff. It today may feel jumbled up, but if you keep on practicing like this, things will become a lot neater in your mind, inshallah. Okay? So it will become natural. Right, Fir'auna. Fir'auna. Now, Fir'auna is a proper name, so we just call it proper. Okay? Fir'auna is a proper name, and we call it proper. Now, what is the flexibility of the word Fir'auna? Can you tell me the flexibility of the word Fir'auna? Is it fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible? Is it fully flexible, non-flexible, or partly flexible? Think about it. It's easy. I'm telling you. It's easy. Okay? You know this. I know you know this. I'm just asking for fun. I know you have the answer. Okay? So Fir'auna. What is the flexibility of the word Fir'auna? It's a proper name. It's partly flexible, correct? It's partly flexible. Okay? It's a non-Arab name. It's a partly flexible name. So it would look the same in Nasab and Jar. It will look the same in Nasab and Jar. Right? Fir'aunu, Fir'auna, Fir'auna. Okay? Excellent. Great. Musaddiqan. Musaddiqan. How about Musaddiqan? Musaddiqan is proper or common? Musaddiqan is proper or common? Should be easy. Very easy, in fact. Should be very, very easy, inshallah. Okay? Musaddiqan is common. There's no reason to call it proper. Okay? Unless you can prove by the list of 7 tips that we studied. If you can't map it anywhere, it's common. By default, it's common. Okay? There's no reason to call it proper. Al-lazina. How about that? I think it's an ina ending. I think it's an ina ending, so probably it's either nasab or jar, or probably it's plural, and it's masculine. Am I right? Am I right? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. Okay? And I'm looking at al as well. This al tells me it's proper. This ina tells me, I'm thinking like a student right now. Al tells me it's proper, and ina tells me it's either nasab or jar, and it maps to the masculine chart, plural, and it tells me it's masculine. Am I right here? Have I done these 4 properly? Yes, Usman, is proper. Correct. It's proper. I want to know why it is proper. Why it is proper. And I want to know if the 4 properties I've done here are correct or not. So what I'm saying is, it's nasab or jar, it's plural, it's masculine, and it's proper. Is it correct? Am I doing the right processing in my mind? When I look at this system, am I doing it right? So I'm looking at it as something mapping to the Muslimina, al-Muslimina, something like that. So now think about it. If you map it, it's a Mosul. It's an Ism Mosul. Ism Mosul, what is the flexibility of an Ism Mosul? We know they're always proper. We know they're always proper. We just did that, right? This is definitely proper. Now, what is the flexibility of Ism Mosul? What is the flexibility of Ism Mosul? Anyone remembers? Is it fully flexible? Is it non-flexible? Or is it partly flexible? Fully flexible, non-flexible, or partly flexible? What is the flexibility of an Ism Mosul? Okay. Al-lazina. Any ideas? Any thoughts? It's non-flexible, correct. It's non-flexible. So because it's non-flexible, it could be either rafa or nasab or jar. I do not know. I just don't know. Context is going to tell me. Context is going to tell me. And this is a special ism. Ism mawsuls are special isms. You don't map them to the Muslim chart. You don't look at the ina separately, right? You don't look at the ina separately and al separately. If you just look at them separately, what are you left with? Just the zal? Is that what we are left with? Just the zal? What exactly is the word? Zal? Is zal a word? Really? Because ina is the ending, indicating plural. Al is making it definite, proper. What was the word? Zal? It doesn't make sense, right? It just really doesn't make sense. So you don't decouple it like that. Don't process it like that. I'm just telling you, okay? Don't process. This is a full word in itself. Don't map it to the Muslim chart. Okay? Although it may sound like ina, don't map it to the Muslim chart. Pick it up as a whole, and it's an inflexible one. It can either be rafa, nasab, or jar, and it's always, always, always proper. Okay? It's always proper. There is no reason for me to call it, there's no reason for me to call it feminine right now. So I will just assume it's a masculine. Okay? And allazina is plural because it means the ones who, it represents a group of people. We'll do that in detail later on, inshallah. But for now, I just wanted to make sure that you understand that it is inflexible. It could have either of the three statuses, and you don't map it to the Muslim chart the way you map other isms. Okay, that will be a mistake and will confuse you. Just pick it up as a whole word, inshallah. Okay. Muhammadan should be very easy. It's a proper ism. It's a proper ism, fully flexible. Okay, because it's a proper name. Because it's a proper name. Al-yathima. Al-yathima. It is common. It is common. There's no reason to call it proper. Or is there? There's no reason to call it proper. So I'm just calling it common. Okay? There's no reason for me to call it proper. So I'm calling it common. Am I right here? Or am I doing it wrong? What do you think? Would you agree on number 20? Would you agree on number 20? Al-yatima. It's common. I think it's common because there's no reason for me to call it proper. Yeah, correct. Usman, very good. You're right. It's not common. It's proper. It has an al. It has something in the list. Okay, so it's proper, not common. Good. It's proper. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So you're mapping things. Very good. So you just you need to keep things mapped in your mind here and there. So whenever you look at the ism, these things should come to your mind. Okay, it come to your mind, inshallah. Very good job. Excellent. Al-safinati. Same story here. I've al here. I'm going to call it proper. Topic closed. It's al proper. Okay. Then we have az-zikra. Az-zikra, same story here. We have al here. I'm going to call it proper. Al here. I'm going to call it proper. Okay. What is the gender of this? What is the gender of number 22? Can you tell me the gender of number 22? Any ideas on the gender? And also the flexibility. What is the flexibility and gender of number 22? Flexibility and gender of number 22. Take your time, it's okay. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy, I'm telling you. Not a big deal. It's pretty easy, inshallah. You guys are already experts. It should be easy for you, inshallah. So the gender and the flexibility of number 22. This is what I'm after. I want to know the gender and the flexibility. Yes, gender is feminine. That's correct. How do I know? I'm looking at the alif maksura. Okay, it's a fake feminine. It's a fake feminine. The alif maksura tells me two things. Number one, it's feminine. Number two, it's also non-flexible. Okay, so non-flexible isms also end with alif or alif maksura, right? And the gender is feminine. It's a fake feminine. Okay, check out in your list. It's written over there, inshallah. Okay, good, very good, very good. Okay, Narullahi we did last time in the class. I'll skip it. I'll go to the next one. Al-Maymanati. Ashabul Maymanati. The people of the right. Now we're looking at the word. We're looking at the word Al-Maymanati. So if I look at the word Al-Maymanati, I'm looking at Al, and I'm going to call it proper. Okay, proper. If Al-Maymanati is proper, what does it make Ashabu? What does it make Ashabu? Does it make Ashabu? Does it make Ashabu proper? Does it make Ashabu proper? Yes. It also makes Ashabu proper. The word before of the people maps to Ashabu. The right maps to Maymanati. The people of the right. Okay, makes both proper. Both proper. If the word after of is proper, then the word before of becomes proper. Nisa'u. Nisa'u is common. Okay, there's no reason for me to call it proper. There's no reason to call it proper. Okay. Right. As-salihati, easy. There's an al attached to it. It's proper. So I'm just pacing up a little bit here because I'm sure you guys have good understanding of this now. Mu'minaini is common. There's no reason to call it proper. Okay. Khati'atin is also common. There's no reason to call it proper. Khati'atin is also common. No reason to call it proper. Kanzun is common. No reason to call it proper. Okay. Then we have Musa. Musa is proper. It's a proper name. It's a proper name. Okay, so we call it proper. Let's do this one. Matla Shamsi. Matla Shamsi. The rising of the sun. The rising of the sun. Now, the sun maps to Shamsi here. This is the mapping. The sun maps to Shamsi. Okay. The rising maps to Matla. The rising maps to Matla. The word before of is proper if the word after of is proper. Is the Shams proper? Yes. Therefore, Matla is proper. Okay. Fakku rakabatin. Okay. Now, I'm looking at the word rakabatin here. Rakabatin. It's common. There's no reason for me to call it proper. Yes, inshallah. Yes, I need to make sure, Usman, that the concept, the grammatical concept is understood. If you bring vocabulary at this stage, there's going to be too much to remember for you. It's going to be too much to remember. And what we want to do is, I will, in some later classes, inshallah, I'll give you a link to a dictionary where you can go and look up the vocabulary yourself. Okay. So inshallah, for now, I just didn't want to confuse with too much information. I know there's already too much here to remember. That's the only reason. Don't worry about the vocabulary right now. It will come, inshallah. Even I don't know many things on the vocabulary so far. So it will come. It will evolve. It will build. So we have done quite a lot of vocabulary on different words. But inshallah, going forward, I will tell you more about this, and we'll inshallah give you more. The objective is to make you independent. Make you independent. So if you have to look up a word, you can just go to the dictionary and look up a word yourself. Inshallah, this is where we want to go, and that's exactly the level 2 is all about. So the sarf, we'll do intensive classical dictionaries, inshallah, in that. And in this course, I'll give you some basic dictionaries at some stage later on. Okay. So tabatin is a slave, which is common. Okay. 4 more left. Wujuhun are faces. Faces. This means faces. Faces. This is a broken plural. Wujuhun. Broken plural. So it is common. There's no reason to call it proper. Okay. There's no reason to call it proper. Zalika. Zalika al-kitabu la rayba fi. You have seen this word, right? Zalika. Zalika is a pointer. It's a pointer word. It's a pointer word, and it means that. 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 There's a very nice Quranic gem here. It's a very nice Quranic gem here. I'll tell you after this, inshallah. So I'll tell you a Quranic gem here. This is a very nice gem here. Zalika is a pointer. Pointers are always proper. Can you tell me the flexibility of this word? Is it fully flexible, non-flexible, or partly flexible? Fully flexible, non-flexible, partly flexible. Okay. So zalika is a pointer word, and we learned in the flexibility. This is going to be a non-flexible word. It's non-flexible. It's non-flexible. Correct. Excellent. Thank you, Usman and Imran. Very good. And then we have this hulamin is clearly common. There's no reason to call it proper. And then there is number 36, an-naimi. An-naimi is having an al, therefore it's proper. Okay, therefore it's proper. Very good, fantastic. We've done this exercise, and I hope that clarified many things. The last 2 exercises we have done, inshallah, it has clarified many things to you. So what I don't want to do is keep on doing exercise myself. I really want you to give it some time and do it yourself, because that's going to help you big time, really. So the next exercise is the last exercise before we jump on to the new topics. And you have a break of 2 weeks now, okay? You have a break of 2 weeks. Please spend some time on this exercise. Do this exercise yourself. And when you come in the class, make sure that you have done it. You have completed this exercise, inshallah. This will bring many things together to you. All the concepts, the heavy isms, light isms, the flexibility, the number, gender, and type, the status, and everything. What you need to do in this exercise is to find the 4 properties, all of these 4 properties: status, number, gender, and type. Okay? Please spend some time. This is important. You need to give time to this. Please spend some time doing this and write properties like this, like they have done with Nuhan. It's a nasab, it's a singular, it's a masculine, it's a plural. Okay? So inshallah, do it. Keep track of what is light and what is not light. Okay? Inshallah, that will help you. Few things I can tell you here, just few tips. For example, anharu. Anharu means rivers. You can note down these meanings, okay? Where I'm telling you these meanings. You don't need the meanings of everything, but what I'm telling you, you can note it down. Anharu means rivers. There are few meanings already given here. For example, markets, al-aswaqi. There are some places meanings are given already. Okay. So I think you know Dallas. This is Dallas. This is Dallas, the city in US. This is Dallas, the city in US. Okay. Then you have Yasriba. Yasriba. Yasriba is an old name of the Medina. In the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that city was called Yasrib. Okay, it's an old name of Medina. Okay, you can note it down. It's an old name of Medina. Okay, it's an old name of Medina. Okay, al-malaika is angels, angels. Okay, so just take these meanings. These will help you, inshallah. Okay. And which one else? Which else? Okay, Nabatin is given here. Al-Qasasi, I can tell you, it's story or narration. Okay, narration. It's a story or narration. Okay. What else I can give you? So where I'm not giving you the meaning, you don't need them. Okay, you don't need them, inshallah. Where I'm not giving you the meaning, you don't need them. Al-Fujjari. Al-Fujjari. Al-Fujjari means wicked ones. Wicked ones. It comes from the Surah Infitar, where Allah talks about wicked ones are going to be in the hellfire. Okay? وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي نَعِيمٍ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ. Okay? Then you have number 42. Number 42, you probably already know this. An-nisaa is woman. Woman. Okay? It's not a single woman, it's plural. Okay? It's a plural. And the next one is Misra, is Egypt. It's Egypt. It's Egypt. Okay? Oops. And the last one I can give you is there. Asatiru is stories, meaning is given. Al-ula is the former. It means the former. The former. Okay? The previous, the former. Okay? So note down these meanings, inshallah. And please spend some time doing this exercise in the next 2 weeks. It will help you and only help you. This is for your own benefit, inshallah. Don't lose this opportunity. It's a good break we are getting, luckily, because of the Eid. It's a good pause to just bring everything together in your understanding. So next time we meet after Eid, we can start fresh on the new topics, which is going to bring everything together, and some new exciting topics where the real study is going to begin. We'll start to do the Arabs in the Quran, inshallah. We start to pick up ayahs, and we start to decode the ayahs grammatically, how they are linked together. The words are linked together. Okay, so that's it. So for your homework for the next 2 weeks is effectively page number 17. So please do page number 17, all 4 properties. Mark the ones that you can't do or you have questions. We'll probably not run through all of them in the next class when we meet, but I will be happy to answer you what is troubling you. Okay, so just keep that identified. If you have questions and problems while doing the exercise, use the WhatsApp. Just put it on WhatsApp, inshallah. Someone will be able to help you. Note down another meaning here, number 24. Number 24 is skies. Skies. Okay, number 24 is skies. Okay, so before I close the class, I just wanted to give you a gem about Zalika. I said the gem about the Zalika. Now, gem about Zalika. For that, I need to go to here and see. Okay? It's in Surah Baqarah. Just want to give you this is one of my favorite gems in the Quran. Okay? One of my favorite gems. So if you, the Surah Baqarah says, Alif Lam Mim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alif Lam Mim, Zalika, Zalikal Kitabu la Raiba fi. Zalikal Kitabu la Raiba fi. Okay? Now, Zalika means that. It means that. So many translations translate it as this, which is not right. Okay? Which is not right. So let's see what we have here by Sahih International. Okay? You see, this is the book. This is not the correct translation. The correct grammatical translation is that. Zalika is that. Okay? Not this. Okay? So you'll find this. That's why translations are interpretations, not the Quran. Okay? Translations are not the Quran. Okay? So so what this ayah means, Zalikal Kitabu la Raiba fi. That is the book. There is absolutely no doubt in it. That's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at this. Zalikal Kitabu la Raiba fi. Now listen to me. Listen to me. So la Raiba is light, meaning a categorical negation. Okay? So you don't say there is no doubt. You say there is absolutely no doubt. There's a categorical negation here. Okay? Al-Kitabu. Al-Kitabu. What are the 4 properties of Al-Kitabu? Can you give me 4 properties of Al-Kitabu? The status, number, gender, type. Status, number, gender, type. What is the status? Is it Rafa, Nasab, or Jar? It's Rafa, isn't it? So we see that. We see that here. It's Rafa. Okay? And the number is singular. There's no reason to call it plural. There's no reason to call it plural. Okay? It's kitabun, kitaban, kitabin. And when you attach al to it, it becomes proper. It becomes proper. Okay? That is the book. That is the book. Okay? When you translate it, that is the book. There is absolutely no doubt in it. Fihi means in it. We'll do that later on, inshallah. No doubt in it. Okay? Now, Allah is saying that is the book. That is the book. Now, imagine in the times of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's going to the people and he's saying, he's reading, he's telling them the Quran. Is there a physical copy of the Quran at that time? Is there a physical copy of the Quran like we have today? There is no physical copy, right? There's no physical copy of the Quran. So he's not showing them any book as such. Quran is a verbal message. Quran, it came as Iqra. Iqra, read, right? It's a verbal message. It's not a written message. We got it in a written form because there's no one to tell us verbally, right? So it was documented later on after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but it was originally a verbal message. So when a prophet is going and saying that is the book, there is absolutely no doubt about it. There is no doubt in it. Which book? He doesn't have any book. He just doesn't have any book, right? Think about it. He's not holding anything physical. He's not having a book with papers on where this script is written, this scripture, nothing. All he's saying is saying from his mouth. Okay? But he's saying that is the book. But and you say that when you point to something at a distance. You don't say that to something close. You say this to something close, right? This to something else. This is a laptop, which is closer to me. That is a car, which is parked way away from me, right? So that's how it works. So he's saying that is the book. There's absolutely no doubt in it. But which book? That's the point. Which book? There is no book. There's absolutely no book. So here, Allah is referring to the book which is in the Lawh-e Mahfuz. It's in the heavens with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala up there, right? That is why the use of word zalika, not haza. That is why the use of word zalika, not haza. Okay? Because Allah is referring to the book which is far away in the heavens, in the Lawh Mahfuz. And that is what the Prophet ﷺ is referring to. Zalik al-Kitab. Okay? Not Haz al-Kitab. It's not Haz al-Kitab. It's not this book. It's not this is the book. It's Zalik al-Kitab. You see the beauty here? You will start to understand these things. You decode these things, these insights, inshallah, when you understand these pointers and the further how words operate with each other. And we'll do that, inshallah, all of that in this course. Okay? It will change the way you look at the Quran, inshallah. Completely change the way you look at the Quran. Just don't give up. I just wanted to give you this food for thought before we leave. And inshallah, have a good time spent on this. Take some time out, spend some time doing your exercise, what you have done so far. It is important. Please do create time. And inshallah, after Eid, we'll meet again on 23rd. Until then, I wish very nice Eid, inshallah. Remember me in the du'as, and of course, all of your loved ones and family and friends. Please put all the efforts to donate if you can. If you can't, that's also fine. But I would really advise, it's the last Ashura, it's almost ending. Just do the donation. Inshallah, Allah will give you more. Okay? So until next time, inshallah, I will see you after Eid. Eid Mubarak to you. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.